finished up that arena event, and it didn't even cost me that many gems. Yeah. It's actually really nice rewards on this one. 120 gems is pretty sweet, I gotta say. I'm just gonna
Wrestling, you probably sucked.
copy my link and share it to a few people. Then I'll get started. Oops. It's kind of annoying. I gotta get a new streaming app because this one always does its own ad, and I hate the ad that it does. So I always have to delete it first. Okay. Post there. And there. And player videos too. Okay, now I'm back. Hello, everybody. I've got some regular stuff to do because I just figured I got the arena event finished. Took 155 wins, but now I've got to prepare for the summoner event, which is kind of funny. I just blew 2 sacred shards and a few voids that I got as rewards, not even thinking about saving them, which was a mistake. Oops, but that's okay. So the good thing about the arena event was that we all got so many gold tokens or whatever they're called, medals for the Great Hall. So I think it's worthwhile to go into a little bit of Great Hall strategy, because I think there's a lot of things that you can do wrong with Great Hall right now. I definitely did some things wrong. But what I want to do next is I'm going to get a 10 out of 10 rank on my force crit damage, just because I've got a lot of high damage force champions. Well, I've got Razin, who's my main AoE damage dealer in Arena, who does like a 50k to 100k AoE depending on if I have defense boots on him. So having a crit damage increase is really in my best interest, and you have to do a 10 out of 10 Great Hall for the mission that's coming up for Arbiter. So that's going to be pretty important. Um, so yeah, definitely got a lot of medals for that. I just spent about 900 of them. We've got 242 here left to go, but I'm gonna just save them all for that force area. But I do think that getting them all spread out was a good idea prior to that mission, but and also for faction wars, having everything have at least a little notch in there, like getting them all up to 2 or 3 out of 10. Because what is it? It's only 75 medals to go from 2 to 3, right? So getting them all to 2 and 3 first would be kind of ideal for faction wars, or if you're going for the mission for 10 out of 10, then just go on the particular stat that's going to benefit you the most for your team, is what I would recommend. So I'm just going to finish up my medals here. Okay. Can't wait to get my Zargala up. That's next on the list. Zargala is pretty underrated right now, it appears. I don't see too many of her in the arena like she used to be. She used to be everywhere. But as soon as I get just a couple more 3-star food, then I'll put her up to 6-star and get her fully mastered. And I've got 5 epic skill tomes ready to place on her, so she's going to be a terror pretty soon in the arena. And I also got Knight Errant too. He's kind of a pretty potent single target champion with the weaken, 25% weaken. And I think he's got block cooldown skills too, doesn't he? I'm gonna take a peek. Let's just see. I got him in here. There he is. Just got him last night. Got Deathless, Horden, and Knight Errant. So this is pretty cool, this ability. Attacks one enemy has a 60% chance of placing a 25% weaken. And it is increased by 70%, 75% if he has full HP. So it hits mighty hard. Oh yeah, so it's a stun. And then it resets his cooldowns on each. Okay. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty damn good. Keep why do I come back? Well, to be honest, it's not because the game is amazing. It was because I kept on getting subscribers. And so I figured it was a good opportunity to get views on YouTube at the same time as talk about a game and have fun potentially. And it's really about the community, right? But yeah, no, I definitely don't like child gambling. I think it's a mistake that games do that. But I'm not gonna go and rip on it anymore because I'm gonna try to just get views and subscribers on YouTube instead. Because it seems like most. Thanks, yeah, I probably will stay, honestly. It looks like there's gonna be some good changes coming with the faction wars. Like, I'm really excited for faction wars. I'm really excited for the stages going up to 22 of the dungeons. I think that'll be sweet. Um, yeah, I think there's some good changes that are going to be coming, so I'm sticking around for sure. And I got right back into my clan that I created too, which was nice. It was like I didn't even miss a beat, even though I was gone for 2 to 3 months. It's unfortunate the situation in Gold 4, but hopefully that gets cleared up as time goes on. Yeah, I'd like one more tournament or, some skill testing stuff would be sweet. Like some real-time PvP, that'd be cool. They'll probably do it because I don't see like it's already a live game. They might as well make it just one step further. Thanks for the thumb. I actually kind of like the idea of spending gems on Arena right now because Great Hall is just such a efficient use of your time. It's such a big boost to your damage. It yeah, I'm just trying to think if it's more efficient than gear farming even at my level, that is. so much you can do. Yeah, I think I will be spending my gems primarily on arena tokens rather than energy for the dungeon. That's what I used to do. That's what I was doing right up until this point. All of my gems would go to energy for the dungeon for getting more gear because I'd already finished Minotaur and I've gotten masteries on everybody. I've gotten all the champions that I wanted to 60 and then some. So I mean that was like my best option, but now I'm seeing that if I increase my Great Hall, I'm gonna get a better raw increase to damage that way because I don't. It's really difficult to find those good upgrades. You know, and they're so few and far between. Like you get one every 3 weeks or something if you're a free player anyway. Yeah, if they had speed in the Great Hall, that would be sweet. Doom Screech is so good. The Void. I almost wish that I had used Doom Screech rather than Seeker because if my team is so defensive heavy, he'd be buffing my team and they'd just be critting so huge. But Fellseeker does have a chance to increase that defense too, though. But he has to be crit. And most of the time, I'm not getting hit. But that's okay. Incredible John, I was seeing him on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have seen him before, but he got up to a really good team like so fast. It's crazy. Like, didn't he just start like a month ago or something? And what he's got Apothecary, Ray, um, what's the name of that guy? Tomb Lord, and Gorg, I think is his team. But yeah, if he had just a little bit more speed on his Apothecary, he would win. But so I'm kind of scared. I'm like, this guy has just started like a couple months ago, and he's already beating my like 10-month-old team. That's scary. He's probably going to be one of the better players in this game pretty soon, I bet. So I just gotta relish the times that I can kill him now because it's probably gonna be short lived. Although that one team that beat me the other day on on my stream that because I was complaining about how I couldn't find any team that I couldn't beat, and then I found one that I couldn't beat, but then I beat him yesterday. So it was short lived. All I needed to do was change around Seeker into the defensive spot, so I had an extra 30% defense on my team, which enabled me to get a big enough crit to wreck his face. Sometimes that's all you need to do is just switch around your leader, you know? So you gotta try some different options. Normally speed is always the best. Speed's just the best. But there are very rare situations where I've switched out my speed lead and gotten the win. Okay. Benox. How much how many tokens is it to go from 6 to 7, I wonder? Oh, it's 700. Right. That's a lot. All right, sweet. Got lots of energy there. Do that. moon. Sometimes these teams can be a little bit scary. The ones with the Khazar and Roche, because it's like a double priority thing. If you kill the Roche, then the Gorg revives the Roche. Kill the Khazar. Like, there's a lot of different targets here that I need to kill. I didn't get a taunt on the Roche. Let's see if I can get all of their turn meters completely reduced. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. That should be good. We can try doing that. Hope he doesn't have counterattack, and he didn't. Let's try for a kill on Nethril. Nice, we got it. Okay. Let's make sure we kill the Roche. And then kill the Khazar. With a bit more gear, that team would be pretty deadly. I always have less power than the other teams. I don't know how they get so much power, honestly. Like I'm always like 20k behind or something. Well, now I'm getting up there. I saw that the Great Hall actually has quite an impact on your power. So maybe that is part of it. Some of these guys have just tons of Great Hall rating or just like full 5-star epics. I think people do that actually. They'll choose a 5-star epic over a better item piece just because it's an epic piece. They'll be like, well, it's purple, it's probably better, right? Well, no, it's not. It's worse stats. So I think that happens a lot. It is hard, you know? It can be hard to figure out what's a better piece, especially when it comes to crit and crit damage. People are pretty confused about that stuff and about speed. But just divide the crit damage by the crit. There you go. It's all you gotta do. So you put on your piece of gear and you divide the crit damage by the crit. And then you take off that piece of gear, put on the other option, and then you divide the crit by the crit damage by the crit. And then you compare the two. Which one gives you the bigger percentage increase? And then you never have to guess again. You can always know which piece is going to give you more damage in the crit damage department. I've heard a lot of people say, like, oh no, crit's more important than crit damage, but neither are more important than the other. You need to have them both in the right spot, working together. All right. Silently. I love this one chick. What's her name? Cythalia. I think she's got a really cool, like, I don't know. They did a good job on her. She looks cool. And she's got this HP burn debuff, block debuffs. That's not that good. Leech. Okay, maybe she's not that good. She just looks cool. Maybe I'm thinking of a different champion. I think I'm thinking of Zavia. That's who I'm thinking of. She looks similar. I'm gonna try to um, upgrade a couple pieces after this, see if I get some good luck. When I first came on today, the Nightmare boss was already at 15% dead. I only had enough time to do my quick 2 keys. It's sad. Gotta wake up at 6 in the morning, is what you gotta do in this clan, apparently. Apparently. I keep hearing that Arena was like super hard right before I came back. That I just missed the wave of the whales. They're like every game was a mission. I'm like, really? Man, I came back like right at the wrong time. Or right at the right time, depending upon how you look at it. I've also noticed that Terrell is really, really popular right now in Clan Boss. Seems like he's the one of the most common Clan Boss champions around. Where we've got some slowness going on here. Is the server gonna goof up? I ain't got time for that. Let's do that. Game is kind of notorious for having some server difficulties. But I did find that using a VPN helped quite a bit with that. I didn't have as many logouts, and for a while they completely stopped while I was hearing everybody else complain about them. So, a VPN, if you're having lots of logouts and server outages and stuff, you can try that. Let's try it right now, maybe. Because it's looking like the server's out. Nope, there's no notice on the Discord for it. Let's try the VPN and see if that works. Aren't those lovely ads? Maybe if we get in to work. Let's try that. Doesn't look good. Looks like I'm gonna have to stop the stream until the game's back on. Isn't that nice? Yeah, no warning this time. It's interesting. Oh wait, I'm in. I'm in. The VPN worked. Either that or the thing's back in. I'm not sure. Or the server's back on. Who knows? Doesn't matter. I'm happy. I'm easy to please. That's all it takes. Here, let's get my face out of the way. It's kind of awkward having that camera here. I wish I did the whole green screen thing where you just have like your face in the bottom corner or whatever with Raid as the background rather than my blue screen or my blue walls. Whoa. Dropping my phone. That's so weird. That bug with Razin, I just gotta complain about it. He just doesn't do his A3 on auto. It's bizarre. They're like, he'd be too overpowered if he did his abilities on auto. We gotta make sure he doesn't. Like maybe it's because he's not supposed to use it on the clan boss. Anyway, I will try not to complain about it. You're just gonna have to see my finger go up to the camera every time to unclick the auto so that he will make sure to use his bog down. You had one job, Ryzen. One job. Jazara. That's a cool name. I admire people's creativity with their names. Too many people just do like something stupid, you know? It's nice when you get some creativity. There he goes. He did the bog down like a good lizard boy. Refresh. Any good guys here? Anybody above 50 at least? Hey, Incredible John, let's see if I can beat Incredible John still. He's a scary one. As soon as he has more speed than me, he wins. In fact, he could win without the speed even. Let's see if I can get a taunt on that Tomb Lord. I did. Defense down. Yes. Destroy them all. Survived. Okay. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. It's all going according to plan. And now let us murder Ray. With no remorse. Oh, oh. Do we get the kill on Apothecary? We do. Well, he doesn't have the winning team yet, but he's getting pretty close. Just a little bit more in the speed department. He'd be fire. Ooh, this is a cool team too. Just with a wee baby seeker though. Greetings, Sunbro. Nice to see you, man. Finished up that arena event. Only spent like 160 gems on it. I'm not doing too bad. How about you? Coruzo. Corizo. Okay, let's get a good final battle here. We got Juliana. That one's alright. Any fun teams? Alright, we'll just go with this guy. I don't know this friendly looking face right here. He looks like Jamie Lannister. Not anymore. His portrait did. So he's a healer. He's a big healer. And an attacker of 3 times. Cool. Interesting. He's a defense champion that heals and has a triple attack. I'd be really curious to see how much damage his triple attack does. Forming force flasks for your Husk. Nice. Husk is a sweet champion. I've been jealous of Husk for so long. I wanted Husk on my Clan Boss team when Clan Boss first came out. Because he's so cool. But yeah. I luckily got Knight Errant. So I'm gonna level him up after my Zargala. So pretty excited about that. Any tips on how to gear Husk? Yeah. Yeah, let me just, after this, let me just take a peek at him. So I can refresh my memory. But as far as I can remember, you'd want crit damage gloves, and he's HP, right? HP percentage, right? Yeah, HP percentage chest and speed boots. But let me just look to confirm all the different stuffs that I would put on. The old Husky Husk. He's undead, right? Yeah, he is. Right. Yeah, this is his brilliant ability. Increases according to his current HP. Yeah, this is such a good attack. So you really want to just, yeah, you want to stack HP, I guess. It's hard. I don't like it when they do that, eh? When they switch them up like that, they have attack in one and then they have HP based in the other. It's you kind of have to like choose one. It's like being hybrid doesn't really work out too well in this particular situation. But I mean, like going super high HP, you can get enough attack percentage and some substats, but I just wouldn't go straight attack percentage in your chest. And I would only do speed in your boots because, um, well, you could do HP boots, but I mean, you're really missing out on the potential of even using his abilities if you don't use speed boots. So, I mean, my best bet would be to use speed boots on him. But yeah, he's definitely really good for clan boss. You get let's see what they recommend here. I would recommend speed gear personally. Speed and maybe a two set of HP, or like, yeah, depending upon what you're using him for. If you're using him strictly for clan boss, then just stack the heck out of speed. Just speed, 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 speed. And then you're going to want to get him mastered with the War Master ability. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, I wanted to see. Only clan boss? Yeah, there you go. You could even, depending upon if you have a dedicated healer or not, you could put lifesteal on him potentially. Like, there's a lot of options for that. But I mean, if you have a dedicated healer that can keep him up, then you don't need lifesteal. Yeah, no, I can't level anything up there yet. It's too bad I used all my shards before the Summoners event. Like a noob. Okay. Just gonna make some room real quick. Apothecary is not a dedicated healer. Um, but I mean, I like he's the only healer I use. Like my team is Razin, Lysandra, Seeker, Terrell, and Apothecary, and only and Marksman. Marksman, Razin, Terrell, and Apothecary is what I meant to say. With Seeker, and my brain's elsewhere, clearly. Um, and only Marksman has lifesteal, and they all manage to stay alive. However, I'd like to get lifesteal on my other champs, um, just because it gets that extra couple rounds in at the end of the clan boss, because he doesn't necessarily one shot you um, until like the 20th round or something like that. So if you can make it until he one shots you every time, then you're maximizing your damage. So that's why lifesteal is pretty good for clan boss. Having a dedicated healer can be good if the dedicated healer is like Warlord or something like that, because he debuff extends and whatever. He's got there's lots of good dedicated healers like Frask. Would be a good one too. Let's see. What am I doing? I've got some brain farts going on while I'm trying to think of stuff. Yeah, exactly. So many things to do. So little time. I'm a little bit underwhelmed with Clan Boss at this point. I hope that there's some new developments in that area. I hope we get another boss to do. That'd be really cool. But it is fun to maximize your damage on a single boss, don't get me wrong, but if you don't have the rolls to get new champions, you're just kind of like derping along. Because there's a few champions that you just need. Like you need to have counterattack to get a huge damage boost. You need to have Bad Alcazar if you want to have a big 15% damage boost. Um, Warlord is like a huge damage boost because he is able to extend debuffs on the clan boss. So he's like the best legendary in the game right now for clan boss and for arena because he blocks skills and cooldowns, increases their cooldowns rather. And yeah, it's just good. Just really good. But you can make do. You can make do with smaller teams, like even just Ethel and Kale. They've been really great for Clan Boss, both of them. And they're starter champs. Ethel, Kale, and Apothecary. Those are like three rares that are some of the best and most common champions for Clan Boss. Even Anointed. I don't know if you've seen Anointed yet, But the three hitter anointed with the turn boost, he's not bad either. It's not that great, not to be compared to Apothecary, but it's not that bad. Yeah, trying to 6-star Ethel. Yeah. I don't know if, yeah, I don't know if I would at this point, but that's because I've got all these other champions. But if I had Exemplar or something like that, I'd like to get Exemplar. That's like a new and improved version of Ethel. Or not new, she came out pretty sure at the same time. But that Void champ, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. But she's kind of like Ethel. Maybe that's just my brain that puts them together. More than likely. But I haven't gotten an Ethel in so long. Otherwise, I would have probably done her. How about Executioner? Executioner got a big, big nerf at one point, and then he just lost his. He lost a lot of his gumption. He never really was as good as people said he was. He had an opportunity to be really good with really good gear, just like pretty much any champ if he was fully skilled with good gear. And his lightning AoE or whatever that reduces the cooldown is really good. It can crit really high with high crit damage. Plus his counter attack was really good for healing back up with lifesteal, and he could solo pretty much anything in campaign and the Minotaur and whatever, right? So I mean he's got a lot of uses for sure, but he was overrated for many many moons. I think there's some residual overratedness, but I don't see him in the arena like I used to. He used to be like 70% of the teams that you'd face. I wish I had like a counter for how many times I'd killed an executioner. Okay. My Sargala's almost ready to be 6-star. So excited. How many skill ups do I have? Actually, just 4? Oh. Well, that's pretty good anyway. Oh, I wasn't saying that you shouldn't 6-star, Ethel. Sorry, I meant me. Sorry. That was really confusing of me. No, Ethel's a great champion to 6-star, especially if you don't have, like legendaries and stuff that are better. Ethel's like a really great champ. I just meant like I wouldn't 6-star her, me personally. I realized that that was probably confusing. My bad. Yeah, no, 6-star Ethel for sure. She's great. Because like I would even like consider 6-starring her, even with my list. Like that's how good she is. Like that 15% weaken with a 3-hit A1, plus she self buffs if you don't have a buffer, which is nice. And she's rare, so she's easy to skill up. Definitely gonna want her skill. You're gonna want to skill her up ASAP. Down goes kill. So that's two 5 stars that I have. I just need to make 12 more 4 stars to rank up those 3 more. Or wait, no, not 12 more, just 10 more. Unless I want to keep Malbranch. I was kind of thinking maybe I'd keep her. As crazy as that sounds. But just for the faction wars, because I don't have any demons really. And I saw that she had counterattack. Counterattack's really good. Yeah, I killed Kale. Kale deserved to die. I mean, you can see his eyes. They don't look good. They're evil eyes. He deserved it. I just watched the end of Game of Thrones. I'm not going to spoil it, don't worry. But it was pretty crazy. That's all I'll say. That's it. What I did notice is that it was so hard to get away from all of the spoilers. Everybody was spoiling everything. Like, come on, guys. It's like the worst thing I've ever, the worst spoiling event I've ever experienced. Ruthless spoilers, no remorse. Evil in nature. Yeah, you're 3 seasons away. Nice. You're still, you're still in the good territory then. I don't know. I think that the last season was better than the seventh season. Yeah, it's the last season ever. I'm pretty sure. Oops. Pretty sure. I'm kind of curious if George R. R. Martin was appalled with the ending, or if he liked it, or what he thought of it. Because he wasn't, he didn't finish the books or whatever in time, and they all got the story got so far away from the books by the eighth season. I mean, he probably just doesn't feel like it's even his story anymore. All right, almost done with this part. It's kind of boring. But yeah, and I'll just grab these two friendlies. Yeah, he got mega rich off them, didn't he? You know, not a lot of authors get a chance to reach that level of stardom. It's pretty cool. But at least he gets to see it right before, on his way out of this world. That's all you can really ask for, I guess, in life, is to witness your effect, at least by the end of your life. Having my camera here, I'm just constantly having to move it around. It's kind of annoying. Gotta have to find a better spot. I'm trying to always buy these shards whenever I see them in the market, because for summoning events and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, he gets to see it before he even writes it. That's right. Maybe it'll give him some ideas about what to do. This is kind of funny. My Lysandra is so poorly geared. She's got two commons still. An uncommon glove, 4-star even. Just such bad gear. But she doesn't even need good gear. She just needs these stats. High speed, even with this crap gear, 234 or 244 speed is what she has. But I just want to see if there's anything I can do for her. If there's anything at all. Because there's... Yeah, no, it doesn't look like there is. Yep. Oh well. Oh wait. This is down 17 resist and down 9 accuracy in favor of 5 crit and 10 crit damage. I don't think that is worth it. And we've got 4 speed here. Is there any chance that this will be more speed? There is a slight chance that it could be 6 speed. But I would be losing 11 accuracy and 10% crit damage in favor of 10% attack. Yeah, I don't know if that one is worth trying. This one is up 21 resist and down 1 accuracy, down 10 crit damage. Choices. Choices, I tell you. Tough choices. And the thing is I'm not even using Lysandra in my clan boss team. But yeah, all right. Thanks for joining me, Sunbro. Have a good time. And maybe you will be back before I'm done. I pretty much go until my battery's dead, which is going to be a while. All right, I got to figure out what is going to be the best thing to upgrade because it's a hugely important thing to not waste your silver on random stuff that you're not going to use. And so my Seeker's gear is pretty decent at this point. And I think I can upgrade this shield without too much of a difficulty. So I'm going to do that. Because all of Seeker's gear is going to go on Arbiter once I get Arbiter. Which is going to be in like 4 months, probably. Because you have to beat level 20 Spider and wait for that to come out. Lots of stuff. I typically will only give it 2 runs through. If it doesn't, or even just 1 run through a 10 pack. If it doesn't upgrade, then I'll move on to another piece. I feel like it just gets in these like loops where it won't upgrade. I don't know if that's at all accurate if it's all just in my brain, but it seems like if I switch to another piece, then I'll have more luck. So that's what I'm going to do. Switch to my apothecary, and there's a couple things here that I can do. Like I can increase this attack. Like that. Went right away. Let's try 5 more. Like that. Went twice. Isn't that sweet? I'm gonna try 5. If it doesn't go in 5, then I've missed my cue. It's my voodoo approach to increasing artifacts. Works every time. 100% of the time, it works 50% of the time. And then 50% of those times that it worked, only 25% of the times they're actually true. So if you can do that fraction real quick, then you know the truth. Reminds me of, I like less than half of you half as well as I should like, and I know. Wait, no. How does the Hobbit quote go? I know less than half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. Hey, I got the upgrade. 16 speed, the triple speed roll feels nice. It's my favorite thing in this whole game, is getting a triple speed roll. Alright, that's 5 times. Let's leave it at that. And let's see if I can get maybe a little bit more defense. How about? Yeah. Alright, see if we can get another one quick before the end. Oh. Not today. Okay. Well, thanks for the thumb. I'm gonna just see if I've got a clan boss key to do before all of the bosses are dead. Is there anything left on the nightmare boss? Oh, I don't even have a key. 2 hours. I'm way off. Like 4 hours has been by. It's 6 hours, right? Okay. Quickest way to farm silver. Can't wait until this Argola's up and ready because she'll be able to melt these waves in like 10 seconds rather than a minute. She'll go through the entire round in 10 seconds. So I'm really excited for that. Be able to blow through all of my energy just like that. I think Ray is the only one that's faster. Could be wrong, but pretty sure. I found Terrell to be really fast for like a single target dude for the most part. I mean, he does have that nice AoE every 4 seconds, which is pretty good, but he doesn't have an AoE every 2 seconds like Zargala, or every turn like Zargala, practically. She does her Devastate, and then A1, and then Crumble, and then Devastate, and then A1, then Crumble. Or she doesn't even need to do that, just Devastate A1, Devastate, Crumble, Devastate A1, Devastate, Crumble. Crazy damage. At some point, I'm gonna get War Maiden up because she's a barbarian and I don't have too many barbarians. And I used to, I did a video about the Zerker strategy at one point that goes in depth about how to use War Maiden in a team and like how to get a good starter team right off the bat in this game, like by using War Maiden, Diabolist, and Spirit Host, and Berserker even. You could use either Berserker or Eris as the 5th slot there. Eris is just Force, so I'd prefer Berserker over Eris in that particular setup. And basically the setup is just Diabolist, Spirit Host, then War Maiden, and then Berserker. So War Maiden will, or Diabolist will do the turn boost, Um, Spirit Host does the attack buff. War Maiden does the defense down. And then Berserker has a AoE destruction. And if you don't have Berserker, or if you don't want to skill up Berserker, you can just use your starter champ instead. Whichever starter champ you have goes brilliantly in that combo. Just doesn't do as much damage as Berserker, but that's mostly because you can skill up Berserker easily through the campaign. So if you want to have a really sweet team, that's a sweet team. I'm going to prove it too once the Faction Wars come out. I'll be using that team. Well, at least War Maiden and Berserker in the same team. And I'll have Kalia in that team too. Not sure who else, but I'm hoping they can wreck. Pretty sure they can. Really, AoE defense down is where it's at. It just makes those AoEs huge. Like, my preemptive strike on a defense down target does 70k as opposed to like 30 or 40k. It's like nearly a double. Well, it is a double increase a lot of the time. Champs that can do weaken on a AoE are especially strong too. Couple them up with a defense down AoE champ. Um, yeah, they're pretty underrated. Like a champion like Spider. You don't see too many people use Spider, do you? In fact, he's like rated as like one of the crappiest heroes. But if he uses that weaken and that defense down ability in combination with literally any AoE champion that's built with crit damage, and you'll wipe the team in one AoE because they'll be defense down and weakened. You'll have enough crit damage. Bada boom. What else do you need? Nothing. I'm here to tell you, nothing. But yeah. I kind of want to just build a Zargala right now. I'm getting antsy. I'm getting antsy. I just have 8, no, 10 more 4 stars. That's it. That's all I gotta do. Which is 33 stars. Which is 62 stars. Or wait, no. Yeah. Yeah, I could have Zargala at 60 by the end of the day. Although I still haven't decided if I'm gonna skill her up right away. There's a few other options I could use my skill ups for, like Steel Skull is another option I could do. A lot of people like Steel Skull right now because of the poison on the A1. I don't care too much about Clan Boss right now, though. I don't have Warlord. Until I have Warlord, it's like, why even bother? Because, I might get up to 15 to 20 million a key. But, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't make a huge difference to me right now. Unless I got some mega good legendaries. I'm only going to be increasing my damage by like a million here, million there. got like 400 or 500 energy all saved up. So I definitely can get Zargula up and ready today. And so I think I will. It's going to be a long stream today. I'm going to just do the whole thing on my stream. Why not? What else am I doing today? Nothing. Nothing. I mean, if people watch um, Mr. Beast just scratch lottery tickets for 10 hours straight, then I'm sure somebody might watch Zargula go to 60. I mean, that's more interesting, right? No, probably not. But hey, it's more interesting for me. I think that's crazy. I don't know if you guys know about Mr. Beast, but he did this. He's always doing crazy stuff. Crazy. Like he bought $30,000 or yeah, $30,000 worth of lottery tickets, and he won like $20,000 back or something like that. So he lost 10 grand in the process. But I think it was paid for. Like he had a sponsor for it. But still, it's pretty funny. Yeah, only probably will only take like an hour or two longer, I bet. Be interested to find out if there's new fusions coming and what those fusions would be, because I'm so hesitant to use some of these new rares that I'm getting because you never know. Like it could be a Grandmaster situation again, like with Saint Nick. If you don't roll a Grandmaster, you're screwed. But I bet it's gonna be something like that again, where they'll have, for the most part, farmables, and then there's gonna be like one or two or three that you just have to roll. Because I think that'll increase their sales by a lot. It's really a good idea on their part for marketing to do fusion, because people, just to get that one champion, will just buy like so many gems and so many shards. I'd be really curious to find out what their income around Christmas was during that fusion, because I know everybody in my clan was buying like just dozens of shards for getting a Grandmaster. I really prefer another place to get farmable champs, if that's coming up soon. Like, I wonder what Knight's Castle is going to bring. That new dungeon that we see in the making. You can see it as a part of the missions in the future. I wonder. It'd be sweet if we got some farmable champs. The last addition to farmable champs was the very beginning of the game. But it was sweet to have that accessories dungeon placed in. I remember when Spider came in, that was a really sweet addition. Right before, it was kind of funny, right before Spider came out, you could get accessories on the 12th chapter, 7th stage. So, like, only the boss stage of the 12th chapter you could get accessories on. You still can, but they're only 1 star. But everybody, when they first came out, when those accessories were a thing, everybody was like just spamming the heck out of the boss stage to get these like 1 star banners, and then a couple weeks later, Spider comes out. Everybody who wasted like just thousands of energy getting these 1 star banners and accessories, um, got them all replaced right away. I mean, if they would have just waited a couple weeks, then they probably would have saved, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of millions of silver, definitely thousands of energy. It was pretty funny. But I guess that's what a beta is all about, figuring that stuff out. My general strategy for leveling up champs, I'm assuming, is the same as most people's. I go on the 3rd stage of the 12th chapter because it gives me the most silver to sell those shields back. And just a solo champ, and I do 3 2 stars at a time, or I'll do 3 3 stars at a time. I'll get all my 4 stars to 40 first that I need for my 5 star food. And then the next thing I do is I get 20 30s, and then I level 60 uncommons for the most part. I do different stages at different times depending upon my mood, but for the most part, that's the order I do it in. Get my 40s first, then my 30s, and then my 20s. Just work my way down. Otherwise, you've got a tavern full of 20s, blocking your tavern up, making it hard for you to make room and do stuff. So it's just the logical way to do it. But I've seen a lot of crazy screenshots of taverns and of strategies that I've heard that you just want to scratch your head at. So it's always best to just give a little bit of advice, even on the simple stuff. Sometimes you just don't think about it, right? Like I've made stupid mistakes for months and months at a time. Like with Spider Dungeon, I didn't know you could click on the spider to make your champions focus the spider. So what I had been doing was killing all the ads, on auto or whatever. Like I hadn't actually been doing that, but when I would click auto, my champions would just hit the ads or whatever, and they'd never kill the spider that way. So I hated doing spider because I'd have to do it manually. But then I learned, oh, you can click the spider's face in auto so that your team will hit the spider instead of the ads. Why didn't anybody tell me that? But and then like a month after that, they made it so auto would automatically attack the spider anyway. So it was kind of funny. Definitely easy to make those silly mistakes, especially in a game that doesn't, literally hold your hand through the whole thing and tell you what to do. Lots of games do that nowadays. What's this business? We're getting more server difficulties? And it's kind of unstable, eh? Out of the like 10 days I've been back, or 15 days I've been back, about like 75% of those days have had server issues. Oh well. We'll just let it roll off the back, like a duck. just like water off the back, off the oily duck back. The feathery, oily, dirty duck back. Are we gonna get in this time? Let's find out. Yeah, for sure, man. I will. I'll definitely show the Terrell. Congrats on getting him, by the way. He's a solid champ. Let me try taking off my VPN and seeing if that helps. Because putting it on the first time enabled my access. Let's see if taking it off will change the situation. Or wait, I didn't even manage to do it, did I? What? Yeah, we've got some server technical difficulties. Oh, all right. Well, I'll give it a couple more minutes. Yeah, it's looking a little unplanned for sure. Yeah, I'll give it until like 2:05 or so. If it's not up by 2:05, then I'll start the stream up later again, later tonight, or whenever it's up, really. Well, time to do a little dabberino. Little dabble do ya. Little dabble do ya. Oh, am I getting in? Is this it? Woohoo! I made it to the other side. Okay, let's look at Terrell. So I've built Terrell full speed and crit. I do recommend this build, either this build or lifesteal and crit, or lifesteal and speed. Speed boots are usually the best. However, I managed to get high speed without speed boots. Having defense percentage on boots with 14 speed is pretty damn nice. So I went with these boots. But speed boots are generally speaking the best. Um, and I went defense chest, of course, and crit damage gloves. I went speed on every single piece. That's very important. Very high crit damage. That's also very important. When I geared this guy, I divided the crit damage by the crit chance every time I put on a piece of gear. So I could find out what is going to be the most optimal pieces for my crit damage and everything. It's got pretty high defense, not that high. 3,800 is pretty good. It's getting close to 4K, which is a good target. Um, but it can be hard to get that without a lot of gear, right? But yeah, that's what I did. I think lifesteal's a really good option with Terrell. Getting 150 accuracy is pretty important because you want his attack down to land on the clan boss and you want his defense down to land on the clan boss. Um, and apart from that, having a speed high enough so that he's able to apply those things often and able to get the War Master proc happening often. Speed's your best friend. But yeah, he's got 57 crit percentage, just a little bit lower than I would have preferred him to have. I like to have my guys in the 70+% range or more, like 90% even. Um, just because that's usually what ends up being the best. But like I said, just do that equation. 150 crit damage divided by crit chance. Just make sure you do that when you are changing your gear items so that you can make sure that they are the best. Okay, so you just compare that way by doing math rather than guessing. So yeah, any other questions that you have before I go back? I might quickly gear up Zargala just for fun. Do you have defense amulet? And you're welcome, no problem. Anytime. Okay. So let's see what kind of gear situation I've got going on here. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to take all this gear off. This is just some placeholders. Oh well, that's gonna cost a lot of silver to change up, so I'm gonna wait until later. Well, what kind of champs do you have right now, Mason? What's your top five in your humble opinion? And yeah, I've got lots of advice for new players. I would say the most important thing is getting all of your champs to 60. 4 to 5 champs to 60 first, using dungeon diver events and the player rewards and campaign gear that you get as the gear that you use until you're full 60. The reason why I say that is just because dungeon is going in the dungeon aside from on a dungeon diving event will be just such a long period of time for you to get anything worthwhile, and it's very easy to get confused by epic gear. It can seem like it's good, but it's a lot of the time the substats are not really benefiting you. So even though it has 3 stat bonuses and it says epic, a lot of the time getting that 5-star common, especially on the bottom row pieces of the gloves, chest, and boots, getting that 5-star common will usually be better than the epic 3 or 4 star. Um, so that's the thing I would mention is just making sure that you focus on leveling to 60 first on those 5 champions that you think deserve it the most. Um, and then after you've done that, going into Minotaur to get them all masteried up. This is going to just be the most efficient way to get them very, very strong right away. Using the gear from rewards, making sure that it's percentage on gloves, chest, and boots, or speed boots is really what you want. Oh, yeah, no, you can't fuse epic gear. Right. Confused. That was my bad. I may have slurred my words a little bit there. But yeah, so yeah, exactly. What I mean by that is, especially on a bottom row piece, you really want to pay attention to whether it is a 5-star percentage piece in the stat that your champion is going to benefit from. So if it's a defense based champion, you want to get a 5-star defense chest, and you want to get crit damage gloves more than likely too, and speed boots. Speed boots and crit damage gloves are pretty much always what you're going to want to put on your champions that aren't supporting. Yeah, level normal 5-star gear. Yeah, I mean, what until you have a full team of 60s, you're not going to want to waste all of your time in the dungeons. It's just a very inefficient route to go. So that means that you're going to be using a lot of commons and uncommons and rewards from campaign that you get. Like you get a lot of player rewards. You can easily depend upon these rewards until you're 60. There's so much gear that they just throw at you during the first periods of time, like for player rewards, for time played rewards, for beating the campaign, for dungeon diving events. You'll get some gear, and so you really just don't want to spend any more time in the dungeon aside from that, because it'll just be a waste of your time. Um, so yeah, just having one solo. Um, okay, so Ethel, Vrask, Kalia, Skullcrusher, those are really good champions, like really good. So yeah, you definitely want to get Ethel. You definitely want to get Vrask and Skullcrusher, Apothecary. The only one there that I would say, well, yeah, I mean, you don't want to level up a champion that's not going to be good, of course. You want to level up your best champions to 6-star, but you seems like you do have some very good champions there. I would put Vrask up and Skullcrusher up for sure because Skullcrusher and Vrask will always be beneficial for you. Um, Apothecary is really good right now too for clan boss and just overall really great. Ethel has that 15% weaken, and so she could even go up. I wouldn't put her up until you've done maybe some of the ones that are gonna be better and like some of the ones that are gonna last you longer. Like Skullcrusher is definitely a champion that will be in your team. Like Skullcrusher is like you need him. So definitely 60 Skullcrusher, and Vrask as a dedicated healer is very very good too. Can also do a ton of damage in clan boss. So yeah, definitely solo farm brutal for more fodder XP. That's a good way to do it. Vrask can even solo farm. Anybody can really solo farm if built in a right way. Not anybody, but like a lot of the champions can solo farm. Yeah, 90% of the game is farming. Yeah, Ethel can do the farming. Vrask could do the farming. Kalia can even do the farming. Whoever you're using to farm, really, doesn't matter. As long as they can do brutal 12.3, that's all they need to be able to do. Even Dampier can do that, and that's an uncommon. So the farming part is the easy part, but knowing how to prioritize what is good to do is the hard part. So it's best to get those champions up that you know are going to be always in your team. You know it's not going to be a waste to get them to 6-star if their name is Skullcrusher, because he's got counterattack and he's the bomb. He's the bomb. He's in a high percentage of the best arena teams too. Norog, he's not that bad. He's actually pretty good. He's just I wouldn't bring him to 60. I'd bring him to 60 maybe after you've gotten your other champions to 60 and you're just looking for another fun champion. He's got some cool applications like his defense reduction in the arena and the block buffs, which is pretty good. Or not defense reduction, but party wide um, damage reduction, which is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, he can be good in arena for sure. But yeah, getting those guys to 60 and getting them with their full masteries is such a huge deal. And like while you're doing all of that, it's really easy to just quickly pick up some pieces that you need from the campaign. Like speed gear is really quick to get from. I've did 70% of my gear comes from the speed chapter. Like I didn't do nearly as much farming as people think as I did in the dungeon. Like almost none of it is from the dungeon. So I mean that kind of gives you an idea. Like I haven't even done my dungeon farming yet. I've done like a little bit of it. I've gotten like maybe 8 pieces from the dungeon that I'm using right now. Maybe 10. Like so I mean most of it's from the campaign and from player rewards from the market over time. While I was focusing on getting I've got 10 champions at 60 on this account alone. And they're all champions that I like and that I use. I don't regret any of them. Maybe I regret Eris a tiny bit, but Eris is definitely viable for me still. I can use her in lots of areas still. I just don't. But she will be useful when I have the High Elves faction wars, and that's another thing is that faction wars are coming out. Um, if you have a champion that you like playing, it's always worth it to bring them up to 60 because we're gonna need lots and lots of 60s for faction wars and lots of different factions, right? Yeah, if you got maybe a quicker farmer would be sweet. I've never farmed with Ethel before. I can't speak to how well Ethel farms or how fast she farms. I'm assuming she farms well with lifesteal. She's got that big AoE and those high A1s, but I've never personally used her to farm. But I do know that Rask can solo farm anything in the game. He's just a little slower. And I'd be willing to bet that Kalia could too. In fact, Kalia might be a better option to focus on to 60 before Ethel, honestly. She's just capped because she can only do 1 HP burn. Like an HP burn doesn't stack. That's the only reason why I'm like hesitant towards Kalia. But Kalia is freaking strong. Like her AoEs they do big damage, and she would be a solid champ to focus on first to 60 if you need a farmer. If Ethel's not farming well enough for you. Okay, give me a tip. After my first level 60 character, who should be next? Bellower, Juliana, Sinisha, or Luthia? Well, who's your first level 6 character? Because I think that, Sinisha, Bellower, Juliana, those are all really solid champs. Luthia is a no go. I would trash Luthia. However, Luthia is not on the same playing field as the rest. But Nizana's really strong too. Honestly, you can't go wrong in any of those options. Actually Bellower is insane right now because yeah, I wouldn't bring Gaelic to 6 star. Definitely, that's a no go on Gaelic. Don't do him. All of those other champions that you mentioned are way better than Gaelic. So I mean, Bellower with high crit damage is going to melt the waves on 12.3. He can easily. Yeah, and it seems like that. Trust me, he's worse than your other champions. I promise you. It's because he's got skills. That's all. But Bellower would be a good one to go to 6 star first, even, or Sanisha. Bellower or Sanisha would be the first ones. Sanisha can easily um, farm the whole thing too. Sanisha can farm all of campaign, Minotaur up to stage 15 solo or 14 solo, depending upon your gear. Nizana can do that too. I don't know how well Juliana does solo, but Juliana is like she crushes clan boss damage with her stuff. So I mean, Juliana, I would say maybe to do after. I would never bring Gaelic to 6 star. He'll never be worth it. You'll regret that for sure. And yeah, Juliana's insane in Clan Boss. Oh, you already 6 starred him? Oh, my bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to just poop on a mistake. My bad. Sorry. I thought you were asking if you should. Sorry. Okay, Sinisha is a really, really good champion. Bone Keeper is also a really solid champion. Zargla is the best AoE champion in the game, aside from Ray. Zargla has a 2 second cooldown Devastate, which is does Zargla is the second best AoE champion in the game. Only Ray has more damage AoE. Zargala, the orc. Sorry, I was replying to Mason. But Sinisha is definitely a champion that I would be interested in getting well looked after just because of how much of the game Sinisha can solo. I wouldn't say Zargala needs skill books to be good. Even without skill books, Zargala is um, well better. You see Zargala as a support? What do you mean? Oh, Sinisha. Sinisha, you mean? Yeah, Sinisha is a bit of a support. However, if you build her with attack chest, attack boots, and crit damage gloves with crit gear, her waves hit like insane, like 20k waves, and then she hits two of them, so it's like a 40k attack every A1. And so she's really good in Spider Dungeon. She can solo all the way up to like stage 12 herself. So I mean, you just got to build these guys in the way that's going to make them boss, right? Don't pay too much attention to what their label says. Pay more attention to their skills and what their skills say, you know? Because her A1 is it does another wave if they have less than 50% attacks. If you just stack that crit damage and have good attack on her, those waves just they snipe. It wouldn't put skill ups on Sinisha, however, because you never know. They might go to her immortality skill, which literally does nothing. I've wasted 3 skill ups on my Sinisha, and they all went to immortality, and I was like, oh, are you serious? It does nothing. But Zargala, definitely you're gonna want to get Zargala up. Mason. Bone Keeper is a really solid single target. Probably the highest single target damage in the game is Bone Keeper. She just has the craziest crits. A guy in my team, in my clan creator, he's got a Bone Keeper who does like a double 100k crit for the A3. So yeah, so since you said Gaelic is already level 60, right? Okay. Yeah, so let's just take a look up here. So, I mean, if you had a spirit host or an attack buffer of some sort, or like Fell Seeker or Gorgorub, I mean, spirit host would be probably nice to get, eh? If you don't have any of those other champions that I mentioned. Um, or if you have a defense down, weekend down, those guys are gonna make Gaelic do more damage, right? So spirit host, like a champion like Zargala that does a defense down on an AoE, But I just don't see any champions there that are going to increase Gaelic's damage. But Bellower and Juliana and Sinisha, they're all really, really potent champions. Same with Nizana. She's a really great defensive champion. If I had to choose one to focus on next, I would say um, Bellower, to be honest. Either him or Sinisha. But let me just take a look at Bellower real quick again. What is he, undead? Or is he... No, he is something else, right? Night Revenant? No. Oh, you have Valkyrie? Yeah, Bellower can clear 12.3 in like 6 seconds. It's true. But you also have Valkyrie? My goodness. You've got some really good champions. Towering Titan, Man-Eater, Cage Breaker, Gallicut, Shatterbones, Skullcrusher. Oh, these are all the epics. What am I doing? What am I doing? It's this guy right here. I was just being a noob for a second. Block cooldown skills. Yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, he's got, yeah, definitely do Bellower next. Definitely do Bellower and Valkyrie next. So I mean, if you had Valkyrie, Bellower, and Gaelic, and I mean, you really need a Spirit Host or something like that. Like honestly, you should probably just go and farm Spirit Host if you don't have any other attack buffer. So yeah, and you can farm her from chapter 4 because you really need to have an attack buffer. Yeah, no problem. Anything I can do to help is sweet. I'd be really I really want to get a Bellower at some point. I did get him on my alt account. But I don't have time to play my alt account anymore. The attack buffers other than Spirit Host, there's lots of them now. There's like Frostbringer, Fellseeker, Scartosis, Ghostborn, lots of them. The only rares are like the only good rare attack buffer is Spirit Host really because because she's farmable. She's got the speed buff, speed aura, which is really good. You want to use that. I mean, that gives your whole team an extra 10 speed, which makes them like basically 10% better. Your whole team 10% better. Such a big and underrated buff that people don't realize. Well, honestly, you've got a lot of other priorities before Cold Heart at this point. Cold Heart can do a lot of stuff at 50 that you don't really need her to be 60 unless you're putting her in your clan boss team, which you could put her in your clan boss team as your fifth. If you had Cold Heart, Valkyrie. Let's just look at what you have here again. You got Cold Heart, Valkyrie, Bellower, Gaelic, and you could have Juliana in there. But Cold Heart could also go in there instead of Gaelic, honestly, would be who you'd want to take out in favor of Cold Heart. But that's okay. Everybody's got their 60 champion that they first built. You know, like mine was Eris. I brought her to 60. You brought Gaelic to 60. Most people brought Executioner to 60. Everybody's got one of those that ends up just kind of sitting in their crib, not doing much. But yeah, that'll be sweet once you get the Bellower up and the Valkyrie up. Bellower will do that defense down. It is annoying, isn't it? There is a thing for that. Let me link it if I can find it real quick. However, it's they try to rate the champions, which I think can't really be done. But let me just see if I can find that. Here, let's see. No, doesn't look like it's going to be easy to search for. Yeah, it takes a bit to memorize all the champions. A lot of the new champions I don't know right now either. But I mean, if you want me to look at a champion, you can request that too. I don't mind. But yeah, you guys got really good champions. I'm jealous of your teams because your potential output is higher than mine. Both of you, both Mason and Ronnie. Once you guys have your gear and your champions leveled up with masteries and stuff, if they're done properly, they will outperform my champions. It's mainly because of Skull Crusher and and Valkyrie though. And Bellower's pretty sweet too. I want him, but he's a rare. I'll get him. I'll get him. Yeah, I think they've come out with a good 60 champions or so since I last was here. Like not 60, but like just a lot. Yeah, Coulthard's insane with Skull Crusher. They're a good combo. However, I wouldn't put Sinisha in the team, at least for a clan boss team. But in other teams, I'd put Sinisha because with Sinisha with Skull Crusher and Arena is crazy. Like counterattack on Sinisha is crazy. What was I looking up here? I forget. Um, was it Banner Lords? Yeah. I wonder when the last four people are going to be coming out. These Nerison Union, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, getting that combo, Sinisha plus. Well, this has a Skull Crusher right here. Is this guy gonna be better than this guy here? Let me try to fight the hardest team there is. Maybe it's this one with the Kaimar, Seeker, Big Un, and Valkyrie. Yeah, that's a scary team. Maybe even too scary. No, it's not too scary. But it is nice when certain teams got good synergies going on. It's fun to see. I like different ideas. It's like my favorite part about this game is the combinations and figuring out what's the best synergy. Valkyrie really screws with my shindig because she makes my Razin unable to do his bog down on a defensed target. See, they all have their defense still up. Because she messes up my order. Okay, let's kill the big Un. Make sure he doesn't get a chance to have any fun. Seeker destroys everybody. Seeker is the winner of the day. You just gotta have the speed, and like that's why I say Spirit Host is a good champion, a good budget Seeker, because she gives that 10% speed. If you use Spirit Host in the same team as Diabolist, you have Diabolist give you that turn boost. Spirit Host gives you that attack buff. Diabolist's next turn is an AoE that gives speed buff on everybody. You can build that team nice. Trust me. With the one with the spear? What do you mean? Oh, on my team. Razin? You want me to look him up? Here, I'll show you. I'll show you his skills. He's pretty potent. There he is. This guy, right? This is his ability that makes him the boss. Attacks all enemies, decreases the turn meter by 100%. Like, what? It's so broken. But for some reason, he does his sheer move whenever he's on auto, which is a great move too, but it's only a single target. Yeah, he's all around. He's a really solid champ. He's a big reason why I win. He's a big reason. However, on my other team, I don't have any legendaries, and I had no problem with that one either. So it isn't all about my champions, it's all about the speed that I have. But yeah, Ryzen is definitely the best role I ever had. Well, Lysandra is also one of the best. Lucked out big. Full defense teams in high gold? Yeah. There's all the same kinds of teams in Gold 4 that you'll see everywhere else, honestly. There's like a few of the really amazing teams with like all of the like Kaimar, uh, I want to say Kel'Thuzad, what is it called? Bad Alcazar. Um, Kaimar, Bad Alcazar, Martyr, and Saint Nick. I've seen teams like that are just weird, or like Vrask, Skull Crusher, Saint Nick, and Seeker. No, yeah, I don't know. Lots of different types of teams. There's only been one team that I've found so far, though, that I haven't been able to beat. Only one. Oh wait, yeah, no, only one. Just one. It was almost two, but then I beat the second guy. Oh no, am I gonna have this connection error business again? How fantastic. I was wondering when it was gonna do this again. I was just hoping it was gonna be soon. Oh, did they post it? Oh, 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 oh. Everyone, maintenance in a few minutes. Aha. You're right. So it looks like it is brief maintenance. So maybe I will return once their maintenance is done. Yeah. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. I'll be back on when the server's back on. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining.